TFR.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Beautiful day. It's a beautiful day.
It's Friday, my dudes.
It is Friday, my dudes, and may I jump the gun a little bit on that last one. But welcome to the Ironworx, right here on Truth Frequency Radio. My name is Josh Corey, and I am back in the studio this morning with internet and electricity and all that good stuff. So that's fun and exciting. Let's say hello to my very good friends and co-hosts here on the show, starting off with one Mr. Zachary Zabala, Z Squared. You may know him as Good Times for All. Here on YouTube, Zach, how you doing? You wide awake? Feeling good?
I am wide awake today. Sorry about missing everybody Tuesday. I don't know. My sleep schedule has been crazy off since my whole little feeling under the weather bit there. I'm getting back into it, though. Things are starting to really get into the groove here, I guess. All the furniture is pretty much exactly where it's going to be. Doors are getting put on stuff, glass windows, all that kind of stuff. We're going to be doing our hanging party today. We got the stud finder. So yeah, things are coming on. I got the fire pit all built. Going to get the compost put in. And then this weekend, I'm heading over to Karen B's.
Nice.
So, yeah, I don't know about digging 3 feet deep.
That was my next question.
Around here. Yeah, I doubt that. No, I'm re-contemplating my thoughts on it's going to all have to be like above ground stuff around here. Because digging, unless you have a big giant
backhoe,
you know, yeah, it's just so much rock. And it's not like rock you find in Indiana. Everything around here is quartz and some kind of crystal. Everything.
Huh.
Yeah, this is a magical place. I love it here. I'm digging it.
That's really interesting. Let's say hello to one Mr. Walter Johnson. You may know him as Flat Earth Head here on the YouTubes. Walter, how are you doing? How's your week, sir?
Good morning, Josh. Good morning, Zack. Good morning, TFR. Glad you guys made it. It was interesting Tuesday for sure. We had a fucking fly by your seat of your pants situation. I flew by the hardest, but yeah, sorry for the dead air. I went and listened back just to see how bad it really was. And yeah, it's a lot of dead air there trying to get things started with my failure of Skype. But we finally got in, you finally got in, and we were saved by one Alan Holman, bringing us some Jeopardy space questions and just helping fill out a show that was definitely running astray with just no hope of finding land. But he gave us some guidance and helped us land that bad boy. So thank you again, Alan. We may hear from Alan this morning. I'm still working on getting into the chat there on all the different formats, which it's good to be back on all the different formats. Till I upgrade my computer, there is just no way for me to multi-stream yet. So, but I did get us on TFR Tuesday. So, how are you, Josh? You've had hell of a week, sir.
Yeah, it's such is my life. You know, once we lost that house that we were pining after so hard, because it went for $70,000 over the asking price, which was just out of our price range. It just seems like it rocked our foundations, and everything's just been a little off kilter ever since.
Well, that's probably above like 99% of the people looking at the house's price range. 70,000 above, I mean, that's quite a jump. Most people look for houses that are, at the top of their spending range. Like, I can spend this much, I'd like to get this nice of a house. When you're looking at $180,000, $190,000 and somebody bid 70 grand over it, that's just insane.
Yeah. Well, when we put our bid in, there were 10 other bids on it already. So I don't know that they just came in 70 over or if it just ended up as some real estate auctioneer raising the prices, running it up.
Well, they
bidding more.
said this, and then this person said this.
Right.
I didn't know you were allowed to do that
You can
unless it was an actual auction.
you can stipulate it in your contract, in your offer that you make initially. Like we had an acceleration clause in our contract that says we came in at like 6,000 over. We were willing to go 12,000 over, but that was it. So if somebody came in and beat our 6 over, we still had that option to counter with the 12. So I guess you could probably stipulate you could do that all day long until you finally get your house. But they still got get a bank to approve that loan. So if the house doesn't appraise,
Yeah, they're going to need 70 grand in the bank.
yeah, probably.
Like,
Well, I don't know.
if it only gets approved for 180 or 190 or whatever, then you have to have the rest of that yourself.
Well, here's the bitch of it. One of the reasons we really like this property is because it wouldn't have taken a whole lot to add some property value to it. So you could you get your loan for $200,000, have $53,000 in the bank, and then you just go into your mortgage underwater, upside down right off the bat. You go in owing more than it's worth, but then you put on a nice 2-car detached garage, wrap a porch around or do whatever. And there's a few things you can do that just probably bring you right up above to the surface of that water again, and make it worth what you paid for it. So I mean, it's possible. It was just heartbreaking at the time. And now we're frantically trying to find stuff because it seems like the market over here has just kicked into high gear and we're just losing houses left and right before we could even get a chance to make an offer on them. We see them, we like them, we favored them, and we plan to go see them, and the next day they're already pending, already under contract. So
That's how it was out here when Bob and Kim. That's why they bought so quick. Because every house they went to go look at 3 houses one day, and 2 of them sold. And they were like on the market for less than a day.
yeah, it's getting to be the way it is here. At least where we're
So
looking.
we're just putting an offer down and let's hope we get it. And this house was actually sold. They wanted to look at this house. It sold, then something fell through with the bank, and it came back up on the market.
Yeah, I'm hoping there's several houses out there that
Yeah,
that happens
there's
with.
one out there for you guys. I know it.
Because if I'd have known this back in March, I could have totally prepared better. But this has all been within the last couple of weeks that we've decided that it was an imperative that we GTFO and
An astrologer.
find our own place. Let's see, what the hell was I going to say? I was going to say something I forgot. Completely forgot what the hell it was. Other than that, it's been a pretty good week. Now that my internet is back up and running, pretty sure my router went out. Then the internet went out. Then because my mom, who couldn't afford to get the stuff fixed up when we were going to be here, is now getting the stuff fixed up now that we're looking to leave, and has someone down here fixing the basement. There was a crack that ran the entire length and the entire width of the house that needed to get fixed. So I guess they had to seal that up, and they're jackhammering down here, putting in a sump pump and all kinds of stuff down here in the basement. So I have no idea what it's going to be like this afternoon for Have No Sphere. It may be just a cacophony of chaos and noise here as I try to kick off the show, or they may have it wrapped up by then. I don't know. But the lack of consideration is indicative of what it is we're dealing with around here. Dixie's working from home, so she needs to get the electrician in here to kill the power and get a new box put in. So now Dixie's off the clock, wasting time because she can't work from home because guess what? There's no power because Mom decided it had to go in right now with no consideration for anybody else. And then same thing with the internet, and well, I guess that wasn't probably not her fault, but the chaos that's going to be happening down here, the chaos that is down here with all the stuff and torn up carpet and jackhammers and dust and all kinds of good stuff. It's an experience. It's definitely an experience. I'll be glad to get out of here. I think Dixie and I have a 5-year plan. I can suffer through for another 5 years in a subdivision in a neighborhood, and we can plan to get land and build a house and something more that we want, and we'll spend 5 years getting my slave score high enough that I can be added to the mortgage so that we could maybe get a little bit better place, a little bit more land, maybe a little bit nicer of a Lindell Cedar home, which is really where we're looking. But damn, those things look expensive.
Yeah, they're not cheap.
But there's hope out there. I was really kind of depressed, thinking that I'm just going to be stuck back in a neighborhood, sitting on a quarter acre, surrounded by neighbors and the sounds of highway and other things that I was absolutely dead set against. But I think with a 5-year plan, I can suffer through and deal until I get some privacy and I'm able to get back to nature. But she's still looking at property, still looking at land that's not left her scope. There's things out there we could just throw a cheap little trailer on and spend 5 years on a little trailer while we get ground ready and stuff for an actual house. We still have options. There's still things we're looking at.
I think things are going to work out just the way they're supposed to.
That's right.
As we've said, we all know that. And shout out, our buddy Daz already has a secondary option going for you in chat on TFR chat. He's letting us know. Number 1, it's not sold yet. Number 2, you can still get that house. Number 3, there's a quantum possible universe. I don't know if I like quantum, but there's a possible universe where Mr. 70G changes his mind. And that, of course, 70G guy scared everybody else off. So that's number 4. So guess what? It could still happen. It's still in the cards. You just don't know. You have a 50% chance, according to Daz Math. What? Shout out. Hashtag Daz Math. That's what's up. We may have a show title.
I think that's plural.
Maths.
Daz
Daz
Maths.
Maths. Sorry. Shout out Adam and John. Savage. Hey, wait. John. There it is.
Hard.
Sort of. There's a couple different ones right there.
It's all good. It's remix. The remix.
The Savage remix.
I heard Savage is hard. That's all I heard.
That's what I'm saying. That's the remix. We like it. We like it. Especially for Fab Flat Friday. I can't even talk. Goodness. Well, I said hey to Daz. Good morning to the Alan Holman, already there in chat waiting for us. He was here in the call actually earlier because unfortunately we forgot to drop him out before we called. But hey, things happen and we probably or quite possibly will get him back in here soon. Shout out to Dawn over there as well, over there hanging tough on the TFR chat. Today I can actually get on YouTube. And I know we're over there streaming. So shout out to everybody there. I see Sean and Liz, our Iron Maiden. Diva's over there. That was Sean O'Co, in case you don't know who I'm talking about, everybody. Who else? I saw somebody else over there. Diva, is Dawn there? Yes.
Alan's been there.
Alan's been there on YouTube. I said hey to Alan, so I'm just trying to see anybody I missed. Seems like I thought I missed somebody, but maybe I didn't. If I missed you, just say something in chat. It's still early, and I'm still pouring coffee on my brain, so.
Me too.
But definitely, dude, sending you lots of positivity. As Daz says, there's no telling what can happen, and actually just make it happen. Be grateful before it happens. You know all the tricks and secrets. The secret. Shout out to the book that really didn't do much. Anyway, just being
All right, I asked Josh and Walt. I'm gonna ask you guys. Do I get a really nice pair of waders or a nice microscope, or do I get an okay pair of waders and an okay microscope? That's the question on the panel today. Well, for the next couple minutes.
I think you'll be better off getting a really good one or the other. I think if you try to get an okay version of both, you're going to be disappointed in about 6 months. in one regard
I know.
or the other.
I
or
don't
both.
want my waders getting holes in them.
Or you hang out in some of those auctions our buddy Adam hangs out at and score you something nice for a good price. I know it's doable. I've seen some crazy things I didn't know existed lately because I'm in the market, unfortunately, for a new fondle slab. Mine is just about to go belly up, which at this point I'm ready to see about maybe some cans on string. I think they can track you on those, but I don't know. I haven't seen the new chipset in it, so. But yeah, definitely trying to figure that out, Zach, is tough, man. I'm like Josh on that. I usually try to get the best I can and then wait on the other. But if you can make it swing, what do you got planned for the microscope? I know I should know this, but what do you got planned for the scope?
I got this itch that little voice keeps saying, "Look at everything you can." Really,
You've been
as
looking
small
out.
as you can.
Let's look in. That's kind of what it felt like.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just telling. There's, they lied about everything else. Everything.
There you go. There you
They'll
go.
get a microscope where you can see like 2,000 and
There,
start looking
dude,
at stuff.
it's
You're
a
gonna
world.
find stuff. It
Oh,
is.
yeah. It is, because when my son was younger, I was, encouraging him with every possible way of enlightening himself and got him many different versions of microscopes as he was growing up, from the kiddie version on to some decent ones. And yeah, I was a huge freak of biology. And well, I am a freak of biology, but I meant I'm a biology freak. Is that better? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I loved biology in school. So I was constantly cutting this and slicing that and making my slides. And I've looked at my own blood. It's interesting. It's very interesting.
Diva's asking, what do I want waders for?
Now,
Well,
that was my next question,
Mhm.
Diva. You beat me there.
I-
So, yeah,
I
what's
have
the
a
way to
river. I have a river in the backyard.
Let's go jump in that son of a bitch. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I don't know.
I forget that not all water is like the water I live in down here. It's probably icy cold most of the
Yeah,
time
this is
where
like
you live.
this is mountain water coming
Yeah, it's
down.
probably icy cold. So I get it. I know my
It's
buddy
a little
down
chilly,
here.
and that's not even so much it. There is, I don't know, a lot of holes,
I
like
feel-
loose rocks, and I just don't want to get my bare leg trapped under anything or stuck in something. At least if I have the waders on, I got a bigger area, and then I can kind of finesse my leg out if need be or something. I think I'm seeing all kinds of gold specks, and I think I might even found a little chunk of gold. We need to get a test kit. Got to find Cammy's test kit.
Nice.
Yeah, and the whole thing is like quartz. Every rock that I
So-
pull, it is quartz.
We're heading into, we're heading into October now. We're in September, heading into October for the coldest winter we've ever had. Winter is coming. And, look, Daz had the same thought. I was going to say, get the scope now, play around with the water, and then let it warm up a little bit before you go hopping in the creek. But, yeah, Daz was on that one already. Shout out to Tominoid in chat. I just saw you pop in there. Welcome. And I saw Lana. I said hey in chat, but I didn't say hey on the air. So, and if I missed anybody else, just let us know. Absolutely. Well, man, you've got me interested in going dig around, because I know the last scope set that he had was somewhere when we moved into this house. Now, you know, Zach, what that could mean for me digging around in a box or two. But yeah, I'm interested.
Yeah, I just got this little voice poking me saying, hey, look small. Look at stuff down as small as you can. So, yeah. I got onto this kick with my camera for a while looking at bugs. Well, for like 2 years probably. Just taking a picture of every bug I could, zoomed in real close up, as close as I could get in that macro. And yeah, that's a different world.
It is indeed. I went down that rabbit hole when I got my new phone and found the magnifier. I still use it constantly if I come across an interesting dragonfly or one lands on me and I'm checking him out up close. I love their eyes. There's nothing like looking in the eyes of a dragonfly. It's like a different world in there, truly. But definitely, I like the macro side of things as well, sir. I definitely do. So, and that's another thing. in this quest for phoneage that I'm in, I'm trying to find one that will improve my camera situation as well, both directions, big and small. And some of the trickery they've tried to attempt with these space zooms and et cetera, just a joke, really. Just a bad scale up from just like doing it with Photoshop, basically in camera. You're just, you're not getting better image quality. You're just going in on the image. I don't know. I wasn't impressed when I demoed it. So still looking. If you guys know an awesome camera phone out there, let me know. I should just get a crap phone and a good camera. Wait, Zach, choices. I'm where you are. Should I get a crap phone and a good camera, or a decent phone and a decent camera? All right, I'll stop.
Well, that's the thing. I could get a pretty good microscope without USB capabilities in the camera, so I could show people what I'm seeing. And they're not that expensive at all. Microscopes, I don't know what's wrong with them now, but they're not as expensive as they used to be. Probably because half of them are made out of plastic parts and this and that.
Yep.
But even they're like ones for college students, like, biology students and stuff like that. They're not like they used to be. They used to be a lot more. Because I was looking at them, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. For some reason, whatever, the price seems to have really dropped. So yeah, I don't know. I just want one. I've had a little 40 by Zoom handheld one. And that worked great. And then the battery just went out on it. And I can go buy batteries, I guess, but I want a microscope that I could hook a cable into, bring it up on a monitor, record it, and show people what I'm seeing. I don't know.
I think that'd be ideal.
I'm getting ready to pull out all my alchemy stuff. I've been really not doing it because I know as soon as I do, that's where my head's going to go. And I got Flattoberfest coming up, and we still got so much work to do around here. I want to keep somewhat focused on the task at hand.
Not to be nothing, but that microscope could be a pretty decent addition to Flattoberfest.
Yeah.
Yeah, since you're looking at doing a hands-on type thing, that could be cool.
I know, it's just what do I show people under there?
Well, Alan suggested you get a sample of the Covidius 919 somehow, and try to see what happens if you pour a bit of a 10 part per million solution of colloidal silver on it. I'd like to see that myself. Of course, it'll be a little difficult to find since it hasn't been isolated or any of that fun biological stuff. But hey, I'm just a stickler for details.
Look at the stuff I cough up in the morning.
There you go.
Don't do that. Don't do that. You'll quit smoking immediately. Wow, I know we haven't almost gotten to the first break, truly, already.
Less than
man.
3 minutes.
Dude, we just started yapping and like, hey, how you doing?
I know,
And saying
right?
stuff to people in the chat. This is crazy how quick it goes. I thought it would be a like deer in the headlight, oh my God, what am I doing thing on Tuesday by myself. Well, I wasn't long by myself, but dude, it was suddenly the first break and it felt like I just sat down trying to fix the computer and get in there. And then like that break flew by and then there you were. And like, yeah, time on this thing is redunculous. I'm truly thinking that by focusing or non-focusing ourselves on time, we are definitely making it quite stretchy and quite malleable because things have been nuts. This year is gone almost. We're almost to winter. And it's just seemed like, well, I had extra circumstances making my year quite broken
It's like
up
you had
and
2
traveling.
years this year, Walt.
Yeah, dude, it definitely has been, for sure. Definitely has been. And still, things in Oregon have yet to settle down as far as the fires. My family's still out there dealing with lots of horrible smoke. They just got some rain this week, so that has helped with some of the fires. I think it's gone down from, I think at one point there were like 35 fires running, and I think they've got it down to about 10 different fires, but some of them are still pretty, out of control. I saw some bizarre footage over the weekend Now, we've all seen the trees burning from the inside, and some people say, oh, that's DEWs, and some other people say, oh, I've seen that burning trees on my own farm, and I can go both ways because I've seen it too, burning trees on farms, and I've also seen a lot of interesting weaponry being used and tested out there. In a place that doesn't get lightning, to the point that lightning is on the news. Like, I was out there and experienced it. Like, lightning happened. Paul was like, holy shit, that's the Oregon unicorn. You saw lightning. That doesn't happen. It was on the news that evening. Well, it was on the news on the radio immediately, and then it was on the news that evening. So that's pretty nuts. Within a 24-hour period, they had like 280 something lightning strikes days ago as the storm was moving off the coast. It really was no reason for it to happen. The lightning just kind of came out of nowhere. And then fires started on the west side of Oregon. I mean, on the west side of Portland, because the fires were coming from the east in the mountains. And then those lightning strikes hit off on the coast and started some fires on the west side of Portland. So it was kind of like, fire was both moving in on both sides. So lots of crazy shit going on. I'm going to shut up and let us go to break.
Oh, look at that. Right on it. Sweet. We'll be right back after these quick messages on the Ironworx.
Extendivite is more than just a heart tonic. Do you have any of these symptoms? Night cramps in the hands and feet. Your arms and legs often go to sleep. On short walks, do your legs get aches and pains? Is your memory worse than it used to be? Ankles that swell late in the day? Has your blood pressure increased lately? If you answered yes to even one of these questions, you may have early warning signs of arterial blockages. Your body is saying that it is time to take Extendivite. These are not the normal signs of aging. They are the warning signs that accompany blocked arteries. Get your Extendivite today. Extendivite is available in capsule or liquid form. Liquid for just $69.95 for a 2-month supply. To get started, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822 or visit heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Hey, it's Grace. Can we talk about something serious for a minute? Your age. Getting old has its perks. But remember, being a few years younger, you know, your hair was thicker, you didn't have so many wrinkles, that extra weight wasn't haunting you, and you just felt better. Well, we can't turn back the clocks and go back 10 or 15 years, but you can start feeling and looking 10 or 15 years younger with Nature's Youth RSF. It's a doctor-formulated daily supplement that helps your body maintain its peak performance and fight the aging process. Imagine sleeping better, looking better, and feeling better. See how Nature's Youth RSF has helped thousands of people just like you at nature'syouth.com. nature'syouth.com. Imagine how it will feel when your family and friends are asking you what you did to look so good. Your secret will be Nature's Youth RSF. It's time to start looking better and feeling better. Learn more and order your Nature's Youth RSF at nature'syouth.com. That's nature'syouth.com. That's nature'syouth.com.
Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death. This is Uncle Walt from the Ironworx. Josh, Corey, and I have chosen to look at life with no fear. No fear of the unknown. No fear of questions about the supposedly well-known. No fear of ridicule for thinking outside the familiar fool's lines. No fear of the boot on the neck of those refusing the party line. No fear of taking on those so convinced of their beliefs they would sooner drink the Kool-Aid than believe they've been fools made. In this world filled with me too, cattle think, can truth's protective layers be peeled back to show the tender, juicy pink? Are we all just grist for the mill? Souls sold against our will, or is that just how it feels? When you're filled to the rim with trivialities so fear-filled and grim, break clear of the fear right here, Tuesdays and Fridays at 2 a.m. on TFR. Josh and I and you will hammer out the impurities of technology-driven groupthink, fold in a dash of logic, and quench it all with a bit of absurdity. The Ironworx. Break clear of the fear.
You're listening to the Truth Frequency Radio Network.
No hate, no hype, no fear.
the iron you need to get what you want.
Hi, this is Alan. I like Ironworx because it's where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came.
I love Ironworx with Josh, Walt and Zack. It's like sitting in your front room having a cosy chat with your best friends.
Hi, it's Diva here, and I just want you to know that Ironworx with Josh, Walt and Zack, it's definitely my favourite dose of reality. Come join the family and keep it flat.
Why sleep in when you could get your dose of iron in the morning? Listen to the Ironworx on TFR.
This is Enlightened Dawn. Roses are red, violets are blue. Iron Realm Media is the best on the plane. To this show, I will forever be true. You guys are truly the best, and I love you guys. I'm so thankful to have you in my life.
Do you like listening to space letters from Never a Straight Answer? Then tune in to The Ironworx with Zack, Walter, and Josh. Break clear of the fear on the Ironworx and become an Iron Scout.
How dare you?
And welcome back. Greta Thunberg in there for, shits and lots of giggles.
For emphasis.
However,
Thank God it's Friday.
it's Friday. And happy Friday to everybody out there. Thanks for tuning in to the Ironworx right here on Truth Frequency Radio. Live streaming over on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, DLive. Few places. We're out there all across the plane, all across this realm, this iron realm.
Indeed, we are. We are here. We are here. We are here. Zack's got a roaring river next to him right now, which is awesome.
Yeah, I know. I wish I could be sitting out there, but that was just too loud.
Yeah, it was kind of loud, but dude, I love that energy of a river next to you. There's nothing like it. I used to live quite close to quite a few and spend a lot of time on them. It's different here. A bayou is different. Bayous are slow, easy going, still, slow, deep, hiding things type waters. I don't like hanging out on bayous nearly like I like to hanging out on rivers and creeks and faster moving bodies.
Yeah, and this one's cool because it's slow most of the time. It's just a nice little. It's got a couple little cascading waterfalls, and now you can see them from the porch. I cleared out just a bunch of stuff. Found some wild grapes growing up in a tree. They vined up into a tree, and there's grapes hanging all over, and they're falling on the ground. And yeah, I'm finding all kinds of cool stuff out there. The cool part is, though, they're not going to need much for their flower beds that I'm going to build.
I see Iron Realm Rosé in our future with the grapes you found. I'm just saying.
Yeah, both sides of their hill where it's all wooded and there's no paths or anything. The people really let it go. They didn't keep it cleaned up. Well, all that stuff is like black gold. There's like a layer of pine needles on top, and you pull those off, and underneath is just all that leaves and stuff that's been breaking down for years. That's going to be their soil.
Nice.
And there's a lot of it. Yeah, I know. I'm excited. I'm going to burn all the pine needles. Mix that in. Yeah, it's going to be good. I don't even know if I'm going to need that much manure. I'm going to get some, of course. It just works so well. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And horse manure just does some amazing things. Yeah, I don't know if I could take that out of my repertoire.
No, I don't think you'd want to. Regardless of how good it does without it. Unless you could somehow find some weird combination where stuff grew better without it, but...
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, good luck with that.
So nope, I'm going to be on the lookout now for horse people.
I've got a map, an old map that has the horse people on it, actually. So you could probably find them. You know, talking about that dirt, man, this is a crazy story. Y'all are going to flip out on this one. Okay, so back in the day, and I mean way back in the day, mid 80s, early 90s, things weren't quite as free and clear as they are in many different states for the cannabis. And used to, the only way you could get a lot of good information was a little publication called High Tide, which, granted, had its sillier side, but there were great people in there. Jorge, sir, what was his name? Damn it. I forgot his last name now. Anyway, he had some great grow tips. There were some amazing stories about other countries and processing different ways of growing and just amazing information. There was a lot of the early days of the freedom fighters, they called themselves, who were trying to get regulations changed, a lot of the normal activity, a lot of that kind of stuff. A lot of things out there in the East Coast area, I think out there where you guys are. I can't remember the name. Damn, just been too long, a long time ago. Anyway, in one of those magazines that we shared around on campus, this was in my college days as well, there was this article about an old practice from a tribe, I can't remember the name, and we couldn't pronounce it anyway, that was called, to the best of our pronunciation, and I've never been able to find this since that article, so don't try to look this up. Our best approximation of a pronunciation was Jordhuga. Jordhuga. Okay, so you create a Jordhuga by taking a pole, a stick, we would use a broomstick, and you drive it 3 feet down into the earth, because at 3 feet down into the earth temperature is always the same. It's always 72 degrees down there at that depth. Then you drive 2 holes at 45-degree angles that meet the hole that you have then driven into the ground. You fill the middle hole up with sand and gravel, really tiny rocks, until it gets to the top. And you hollow out a nice little bowl-shaped area. On one side that has the angled out tube into the ground, you take a broken off glass bottle, seal it around the top of the hole with mud, and you do the same thing on the other side. I know y'all think I've lost my fucking mind at this point. But you then load a bowl of amazing cannabis into your bowl you've created on the earth. You carve on one side, you draw on the other, and you smoke the earth. You've turned the earth into a bong. I know it's insane, but we fell in love. It's amazing. And we fell in love with it because, you know, we were all young and crazy and like out in the world doing crazy stuff. So we would do that everywhere we'd go. And I found that different areas would vastly change the way it tasted. And being under that type of earth you're talking about with the dark, rich, just stuff decaying and all that, that was one that I did not enjoy. It just didn't taste great. Sandy beaches were the best. That was the best taste we found. So anyway, yeah, small little glimpse into my insane life.
Nice.
Earth Bong. Morning to Nachiketa out there in chat. And I agree with Liz. A shout out to Pavlo and a shout out to Brian. The ones that are gone, but the ones that are not forgotten.
Not forgotten, in spite of their new Twitter handle. I see you out there, brother. And look, I play very little Pokemon in the late little time, and you asked for some help, and I'm ready for it, dude. I'm ready to help you out. So just get in touch with me, and I'll guide you through what little bit of trainer knowledge I have. I'm just giving Brian shit because he's been messing with me on Twitter too.
What was I forget. It's gone.
Dead air. I killed the world's thought processes with the thoughts of making a Jordan hookah. I know y'all are out there breaking bottles and looking for a stick right now. I feel it.
I'm just wondering how the natives got broken bottles.
I'm sure they used some kind of pottery. You know, I was thinking about that too back in the day. We all were, you know, thinking a lot about weird stuff back then. So yeah, we all figured it was some kind of pottery thing because they could just form it into the earth. You know what I mean?
That was your best pronunciation.
Set up a permanent. That was the closest that we could come.
Do you
and it had
remember
a
the
bunch of
spelling?
H's and
Gotcha.
other letters in there that didn't make it easy to pronounce. I'm sure if I went into the back issues of that publication, I could probably find the article, but I haven't tried that because, you know, that the last time I looked was kind of early internet days thinking, oh, everything's on the internet. It wasn't back then. Now it kind of is.
Now it kind of is.
Oh, I found a lot of stuff I couldn't find in the early days. A lot of music, a lot of obscure bands, a lot of crazy articles from really off the wall magazines, bizarre artists, crazy animators. Yeah, lots of stuff that was hard to find, real culty, and you had to know your weird way around the weird world. But it's all out there now if you know what to look for. And then so, be careful what you look for.
Oh, remember when I said I used to find, well, I have found cannabis, hemp stuff growing everywhere?
Yeah.
I found it on the property.
Woo!
Yep. Doesn't grow big, you know, it's that stuff that stays just a couple inches tall.
Mm-hmm.
Get the leaves and then gets ran over by the lawnmower, all that kind of good stuff. Yeah, but there's cannabis growing out there. Not saying it has any THC in it or anything like that, but it's definitely the species.
See, I've been fooled by some wild strawberries once.
Yeah, no, we have those there too. They actually have berries on them still. I couldn't believe it. They're actually more prevalent now than like a month ago, or whenever it was when we got here. You had to look for them. You had to lift up leaves, and to find a berry, I think I found 2 only. And now you go out and look out right off the back porch. You'll see 10 red berries. They only get about a little bit bigger than a pea. There's eastern strawberry. I think there's 2 types of eastern strawberries and there's western strawberries that are wild. And then all the strawberries we grow have been hybrid mixes to get the berries bigger. I know the western strawberries are the bigger ones, but they're still not that big, not like the giant ones you can get at the store. But yeah, this place is just full of food. Clover everywhere. Not that much soil. There's some, but I don't know. I'm sure there's patches around here too. In Indiana, it used to just it would overtake areas. It'd be nothing but sorrel.
You got that creek right there. Be on the lookout for watercress too. Get yourself a decent little
nothing
salad.
really grows in the water, it looks like. I haven't seen one. There's moss. That's about it, though. Yeah, it's weird. Well, it's all rock. There isn't a whole lot of dirt. I bet if it did, like when it rains, like it is now, how it's really rushing, I think that kind of washes away
all the
any
sediment.
plant. Yeah, that might be growing on the bottom if it has a chance. Yeah, I'll get some video of it today. Or show you guys tonight. I'd show you right now, but you just can't see. It's dark. No confirmation that the sun is coming yet.
Well, I saw earlier Liz said it had come out from behind the clouds where she is at some point. I'm guessing that wasn't tonight. Isn't it nighttime where she is right now? I don't even know anymore. And no, it may be already full day over there. She may be a little ahead of us. Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. She's not behind us. She's ahead of us. Cool.
Did you
let us
happen
know?
to catch Glowbusters on Wednesday?
I did not.
I didn't, but I watched part of the broadcast once it was a recording.
Yeah, it was hard with that guy's accent. But when
That's why I've only gotten through half of it. I had the same issue, but it was what I was getting was amazing. I just have to get through it all, and I haven't yet. But yeah, I was pumped up. And I don't know how I missed it. Were we in the middle of our thing? Is that what happened? And then I had to go. That was it. We was doing our thing, and I went to go eat and kind of got sidetracked after that. My apologies, Cam and Bob and
I think
everybody there.
Kicked off right as we were wrapping up.
That's true. It
We
was
had to
just
go
about
eat.
to go. That's right. Yep, that's what happened. So, because I wanted to see it, I was pumped up. Because we had talked about making a model out of her idea of the, with the map and the
Cutie.
Serify. What's the word? Serify? Is that the right word? I can't
Yes,
remember the
I
name
think
of it.
that is right. I do believe.
But yeah, so pumped up, wanted to see it. So I'll get to it, I hope.
Yeah, they get onto this part about time zones over there between the U.S. and Russia.
Right.
Alaska and Siberia up there. And on the same latitude, or same longitude, I apologize. So running north to south, there's this island of Alaska and an island of Russia. And there's these two towns on there, and it's some weird number, like when it's noon on this day in the U.S., it's like, I think it's 8 hours difference or something like that. It's not like a normal.
I remember, well, I may be wrong. It's been years ago. I used to read a lot of obscure, crazy little factoids here and there, but something about there being a 20-hour difference somewhere. I may be remembering this wrong. I don't know. Let me go look it up.
It's something crazy. It might be more than that. 13 hours maybe. Just something insane. It's like, wait a minute, what's going on here? I know the date changes and all that kind of
stuff. Nachiketa in chat was saying, yup, 21-hour difference. So maybe he knows what I'm referring to, because I may be thinking of something completely not exactly what you're talking about. So 21-hour difference. Okay, that is what he's saying. So yeah, wow. Yeah. It's been a lot. It's one of those like Dear John, Bathroom Readers, some of those little books like that. I probably saw that in a Reader's Digest 100 years ago. I don't know.
Okay, yeah, 21-hour difference. Yeah, I always undershoot if I don't know.
Right, you don't want to over-exaggerate it. Exactly. Yeah, I try to do this.
Ever since I became
when somebody hears the bigger number, they're like, "Holy shit!" Right.
Yeah. Yep. Ever since I started questioning stuff and started putting stuff out, it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna over-exaggerate. I'll undershoot it. But yeah, 21-hour difference, and they're like miles apart supposedly. 70 miles apart, 120 miles, something like that. Maybe. I'm doing it again.
That's so weird.
Good. You do it.
Big shout out to Hillbilly Hermit over there in the chat at tfrlive.com/chat.
Oh, nice. I'm not there anymore. I've moved over to the tubes. What's up, Hillbilly? We haven't seen you in a minute. No, glad to have you.
Absolutely.
And I know we also are out there on the Twitter land, aren't we? Didn't you say?
We are out there on Twitter land.
Twitter land, if anybody's looking. And the book thing. Our book thing. Somewhere else, Twitching. Hey, Twitch.
Live.
Oh, Live. Hi, Live. How are you? That's a tough one.
That's
got a lot of plosives in it. It's gonna break my mic.
Right.
So we piled up lettuce that we really didn't get too deep into. Wow, what am I looking at?
Hillbilly Hermit in chat is asking about you, Constance. Actually, Hillbilly Hermit, if you want to head on over to the Iron Realm Media YouTube channel, we are live streaming as well. And Constance, that was from Athens, Georgia, just happens to be in chat, or was in chat just recently.
Absolutely. And now that you reminded me of that side of the coast and people over there trying to connect, shout out to our buddy Kelly Lay, who goes under the name Hal
Fakari.
Yeah, I was trying to remember.
It's your emphasis. It's Fakari.
Fakari. Okay. Sorry, I didn't get my emphasis.
Now you got to run it all together. Hal Fakari.
There you go. So that person, good God, trying to get a ride still. Because, man, you know what? I probably should check emails every now and again. I haven't done that in days. So I could be saying she may have a ride, but we're still trying to get people to Flattoberfest, including myself. I'm still trying to figure out a way to get there, because I'm just not going to go through what I see happening on some of the airlines, because I'll be the one they'll have in the news next day. So, yeah, I don't want to be that guy, because I'm just way beyond even pretending like I'm going to play the game anymore at this point. I did it in Oregon because I had to for the family because they were insane. And I did it on the way back because I needed to get home to my family. I'm over it now. Haven't, and I won't again. So, no more games. Anyway, sorry. I'm still trying to get a weight over that myself. Working on that. But anyway, shout out to us if you want to get in touch with Kelly. I probably have her information. I know somewhere, but not in front of me. And my computer's already lagging because I have too much happening. So I'm not going to dig right now. But at some point, maybe during the break, I'll try to find out through the email system that we have, modern technology and stuff, and find out if if Kelly is heading that way. I'm trying to read chats and everything else. I'll stop. You go, I'll stop.
Yes, if anybody's actually headed that way for Flattoberfest, she's a few hours away, but I know she would appreciate hitching a ride. I think she's willing to pay for some gas and some snacks or something. I think I vaguely remember reading. I don't know. We've only got about 5 minutes before we hit the break.
Wow. Well, so much for me digging in this pile. I didn't even notice, but you are correct, sir. We have plowed right up into another one. Well, let's pretend like we're going to talk about some of these stories.
Well, real quick, they're talking in chat about maps, since we brought that up.
Yes, maps. I'm awesome. I like
They
it.
say, there is no flat Earth map. You know what? I don't think I've ever seen an actual legitimate globe map. The way that we're finding things out to be now, every map, the northern hemisphere, like Nachiketa is saying in chat, the northern hemisphere is so exaggerated. They make it so much larger than it actually is.
Absolutely.
They make the United States just huge compared to what it really looks like. It's small. It's not. I mean, South America and Africa and Australia, I think, are way bigger than we're told. And people say, they can't do that. There's people, 5% of the population live below the equator. And we're talking Africa here, folks. I mean, if we don't have accurate maps in the northern hemisphere, you think they have them in the southern hemisphere?
I would like to get some pictures of maps in classrooms. What are the maps that they're showing the kids in the classroom?
I was looking at maps of Alaska because of all this stuff. Just last night or maybe the night before. And they have the 70-degree parallel line is different on like every other map. There's 2 different places you'll find it in. But depending on what map you look, Alaska's cut off just at the tip before it hits Canada on some of them. And then the 70-degree north parallel is like down into where Alaska and Canada meet. And it runs like through like where they're actually touching. Some it doesn't, some it does. It's like, wait a minute. Where is Alaska? Where's the 70-degree north parallel? Yeah, type in Alaska maps and click on images, and you'll see that they don't all line up. And these are like official maps that you would find in encyclopedias and stuff like that. It's like, how are you people this far off? And a lot of them are recent maps. It's crazy. I don't know. I've never really looked too close into examining maps, and like how similar they are, how different. But these are maps that were made after 2000, and they're different. They're like hundreds of miles. It just doesn't make any sense. At least not to me.
Well, I still remember before Flat Earth, before me looking at all the ancient maps, stories about the inaccuracy of our maps and how they were always trying to figure out a more accurate way to represent things because, in their excuse, it's hard to take a ball and make a flat map out of it. Yeah, whatever. None of the maps have ever worked. And you've seen, I don't know, was it a Japanese map that came out that was all weird and sloped over and things that, I don't know. Let me see if I can find that one and share it. Maybe I'll put it in the picture. Seems like that happened since Flat Earth, actually. That map I'm talking about. But maybe it was before. But I remember some map that everything was kind of skewed over and stuff to the right. And apparently that wasn't enough. I thought we were closer than that to the break.
Nope, we still got about 60 seconds. Good try, though. Well, 30 if you want to. That was real close. Real close.
Maybe we should look at some maps this afternoon while we're over there on our Have No Sphere show on YouTubes. On the YouTubes.
On the YouTubes. The YouTubes. Them there YouTubes. What did you just send me, Walter?
Oh, a little song to play maybe for our friend Cammie. It's one of her favorite songs, mine too. And it just so happens that the album it comes from is turning 30 this year because we're old. We're so fucking old. But we can do that on the way back because it's a really awesome song. And I don't mind a strike for it. I do mind a strike. You know that. I hate to get TFR striked. But I guess it's our YouTube channel, huh?
That's true.
Anyway.
That's
I hear break music.
Me too.
Wake up!
Oh, shoot. Okay.
Anyway, we'll be right back after this.
Hi, my name is Ella, and I'm 10 years old. I'm one of the millions of children born to parents suffering from the sheeple virus. Symptoms include the inability to think for oneself, the attention span of a goldfish, and a strong belief in government and the mainstream media. It is estimated that 1 out of every 2 children are being raised by parents infected with the sheeple virus. But there is a cure. For as little as 19 cents per day, you can become a TFR supporter and help children like me get their daily dose of truth. Together, we will make sure every child has protection from deception.
A final first on Jack Callahan, Fox News, for the late Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg today, as her flag-draped casket is moved into the U.S. Capitol building this morning.
The late justice will become the first woman to lie in state here.
An historic time for an historic woman. Did more for the equality of women than anybody in our history.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and other congressional leaders, including Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, will attend a memorial service for Justice Ginsburg. For the past 2 days, Ginsburg has laid in repose at the U.S. Supreme Court as thousands of mourners by outdoors to pay respects.
The president and the first lady among the mourners yesterday, according to Fox's Jared Halpern. They were jeered by some. The president will announce tomorrow the person he's chosen to nominate as Ginsburg's replacement on the High Court. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell telling Fox News tonight.
I'm confident he's going to make an outstanding nomination. The American people are going to take a look at this nominee and conclude, as we're likely to conclude, that she well deserves to be confirmed to the U.S. Supreme Court.
The Washington Times reports House Democrats will introduce a bill next Tuesday to restrict to just 2 the number of Supreme Court nominations the president can make each term, and also limit the justice's term to 18 years. The Constitution says federal judges are lifetime appointments. In Louisville, Kentucky, more protests over Breonna Taylor's death. Windows broken, a flare thrown into the city's main library. 24 people arrested, including a Kentucky state senator.
The city of Louisville eventually remains shut down. Everything downtown is boarded up. It's unclear if it's going to open up back before the weekend. We saw some demonstrators kind of take sanctuary in a church nearby because of that curfew, but then police were able to convince people to go ahead and head home.
Fox's Mark Meredith reports protesters in L.A. were struck by an SUV speeding through them. America is listening to Fox.
You must unite what is in citizen.
We are TFR. Truth Frequency Radio.
spinnings in your head. Your mind tricked you to feel the pain of someone close to you leaving the game.
Good morning. I'm here.
Wake up! Wake up! Wake up!
Wake up!
What is dark matter?
Okay, we don't know.
That's great. That's why it's called dark.
It's exactly.
Everyone knows all reputable information comes from random people on the internet. Tell me things, internet. The earth is flat. It's like school in your hand.
Okay, dark matter is something we do not know what it is. We believe the dark matter is there, but we have never detected it. Well, what I'm afraid of course, is that there is no dark matter out there. There was one? There is no dark matter out there. We need to think really hard, to think really hard, to think really hard, to think really hard.
The sleeper has awakened!
Welcome back.
Love it.
To the Ironworks. We are back. It is Friday, my dudes. Josh, Walt, Zack here with you. So, yes, that song you heard a bit of as we were coming in, Silent Lucidity, a phenomenal tune about lucid dreaming, written by Chris DeGarma of the band Queensryche on a little album that came out 30 years ago. God, that's so crazy that was 30 years ago. That album was a really big part of my life at the time. I was a huge fan of the band, still am, of that era of the band, and had met up with a bunch of friends in college who were also friends of the band. Yes, I went to college really late. Excuse me. And we all would, talk about the band, listen to the music while we were in the art department doing art, and they were coming. So we got pumped up. Went to see this tour for this amazing album that had some hit songs on it because I'd been a fan since they started, and they'd had amazing albums up till now, especially Operation Mindcrime. But nothing had really hit huge. There were a couple of videos on YouTube, on MTV when it used to be an actual music thing. A lot of people forget what the music industry used to be like because of the whole downloading free music. Nobody pays for anything, and there's really not big tours like there used to be or anything. At the time this album hit off and got big, they became like the biggest band in the world at that time. They were able to do something no one had done before. In the middle of a huge concert for a phenomenally big album, Empire, they stopped that album full stop and start up a whole little video cartoon thing, and you hear the little music start and you hear the nurse start talking, and the guy says, "I remember now," and you realize it's the intro to the Operation Mindcrime album, which is an album that has a storyline, a full, amazing, phenomenal storyline, which that album is a great one we'll talk about another time. But in the middle of this concert, they do the Operation Mindcrime album from start to finish with amazing graphics on the screen and characters on stage. And if you were in the right city, Sister Mary actually showed up on stage to sing along. And this is all in the middle of the concert. They do a whole album from start to finish and then go back and finish up the Empire concert. So to be able to do that, to have the pull to pull that off in 91, pretty big shit. They were all over MTV, like I said. But this album, a lot of amazing songs. Silent Lucidity being about lucid dreaming. A little song called Is Anybody Listening being about media manipulation, feeding lies to people. Phenomenal song. If you've never heard Anybody Listening by Queensryche, go check it out. And then they did a song called Resistance. And in the song Resistance, written 30 years ago, it starts out with protests in New York. Listen to the call of the wild. Brothers, sisters, carrying signs. Breathe deep before it's too late. The sky is falling, burning your eyes. Frickin' time travelers seeing in the future. What the hell? I mean, that is 2020. It's on fire. They're tearing it all down. Yeah, it's pretty nuts that was written 30 years ago. And I get it. Protest has been around a long time, but these guys had their finger on the pulse. The album that I talked about, the Operation Mindcrime album, priests and hidden drug trade and media manipulation, again, all the things that have been revealed in this ultimate apocalypse we're living through, and they were writing about it 30 and 35 years ago. Pretty crazy stuff. Anyway, I guess that's enough of me fanboying on Queensryche. Go check out the album if you haven't seen or heard. It's phenomenal.
Shout out to the Adam Meekin in chat.
Thank you. I was just getting ready to unmute so I could do that very thing.
What's up, Adam? Good morning, sir. Glad to have you there. Hope things are lightening up for you a bit there on the home front. I know work's been pretty crazy. Hope you can hang out with us this afternoon. We'll be there.
The new little lady isn't keeping you guys up too late at night. I know they can be a handful when they're young like that sometimes. For those of you who don't know, Adam has a new puppy. No, actually, she's a little older, isn't she?
Yeah, she's a little older,
she's so
but
cute. She's so cute.
but it's always an adjustment period.
Yeah, but she's settling in nice. Well, with a warm that's got that, or a home that's got that much love in it, I'm sure it won't be hard for her.
And we're all reading Adam's answers in chat. We got to stop that.
Yeah.
Where's Adam? I mean, we're savage. Damn it.
So all the walk.
Thank you. I couldn't get to it quick enough.
To the old people.
Close it all.
Walking is getting to the old people. He and Marie are both knackered from having to walk.
That's awesome.
Awesome. I love it. She's gonna make you young again. You watch.
I will say, Walt, that is the one reason I chose Sound Plant over Jingle Palette. Was so that when I needed to hit those sounds quickly.
It's there quicker. Yeah, there you go. Because I have to find it and go find it. Yep, you're right. We'll work on that. Live production.
You can get a free version that's good for like 30 uses, maybe.
That's cool.
And then there's a way to just clear your cache out and do another free version for 30 uses. Or you could, if you want, we'll just buy you your own version once you get that computer up and running. Although this is pretty light. It's not a heavy program at all. Yeah, maybe we should stop with the live production.
Yeah, probably so. But shout out to all of our helpers who help us with that live production, our Patreons and our helpers on the side. Shout out to everybody there in chat as well. Wow, it's gotten big, so I'm not going to start listing it yet. But I love you guys, and thank you for being there. So, yeah, I was digging around during the break trying to find that article I was talking about earlier, and I have had no success. It's just phenomenal that didn't carry on. I do see one person talking about something almost similar, but not the same. So, but yeah, good luck. If you can find it, let me know. Send me a link. But yeah, it's crazy. Anyway, I also included an article for you guys in chat there on that album we were talking about, just so you can, sorry, I just read something in chat. So you can play catch up if you're not familiar with that awesome band. I'll include a photo as well in the show description if I can find it, of meeting Queensryche actually during that same tour for the Empire album. I've told that story, I know, so I'm not going to get off onto it now, but I know I have pictures Paul sent me from back then. He was part of that as well. He got to meet him. Anyway, what? I see Hillbilly Hermit made it over to YouTube, but shout out. We were trying to get him and Connie together. Big hugs to Connie. Look, I'm in chat. Stop.
I know we still have some stories that we did not hit from Tuesday. And you've thrown a few in there. I was completely negligent.
That's cool, brother. I was less than prolific with it. I threw a few interesting bits here and there. Apparently, I do know that this seemed kind of, to me, should be like earth-shattering news. Because as much as we've talked about the amount of space junk they tell us is flying around, and as many collisions and things like that we think, in our limited non-rocket rocket scientist, that's it, in our non-rocket scientist roles here on TFR, we probably don't know all the science, so we probably don't get it, we probably don't understand it. But, we thought, well, there would probably be some collisions with that ISS thing up there at some point, right? I mean, all that orbital junk, and here's this big thin-walled, gangly-armed thing flying at 1,700 miles an hour, I think it is. I don't know how fast it's really going, but yeah,
don't forget,
it's just falling around the Earth.
It's got holes in it. It's got holes in it, too. It has holes. Don't forget.
It's already got holes in it,
leaking,
right? So you would think that we would have heard of some problems by now, but guess what? It finally happened 2 days ago. Well, it says 2 days ago. I guess that means 2 days ago from now, since it's not an actual date. But anyway, 2 days ago, the astronauts aboard the space station took shelter as the space station dodged orbital junk. It finally happened. It happened. The International Space Station. Controllers maneuvered the station away from a potential collision with a piece of debris today. This was September 22nd, so it was 3 days ago. At 5:19 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, that's 21:19 GMT for you guys. They did so by firing the thrusters. Because I was confused. I didn't think we had thrusters, but we don't. Well, they were the thrusters on a Russian Progress cargo spacecraft that just so happened to be there. That's docked to the orbiting lab's Zvezda service module. Did I say that right? Zvezda? I think I said that right. National officials told us in an update. The 3 astronauts currently living aboard the station, 3, I thought there were more, NASA's Chris Cassidy and cosmonauts Anatoly Ivanishin and Ivan Wagner, sheltered in the station's Russian segment during the maneuver to be closer to their Soyuz spacecraft, the update stated. This was done out of an abundance of caution, the update said. At no time were the crew in danger. Well, then why am I reading this article?
Yeah, didn't they just have their hole like a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, another hole, and they're not in danger for that, and there's no danger here. I thought space was supposed to be exciting. I know it's hard, but I thought it was exciting, like adventure and like Star Wars, but no. At no time was the crew in any danger. Maneuver burn complete. The astronauts are coming out of safe haven at 5:25 p.m. The tweet from our buddy Jimmy Bridenstine over there at NASA. Let us know. So yeah, all clear. Everybody can relax. Now the story does go on to explain that space junk is a growing problem with nearly 129 million pieces of debris whizzing around our planet at the moment. About 34,000 of which are more than 4 inches in whatever wideness. 10 centimeters for all of you non-Americans. So yeah, there you go. That's an estimate from the European.
Don't discriminate against all the Liberians and the Ghanaians.
Sorry, my bad. So yeah, I was correct. 17,500 miles per hour. So sometimes I remember that space stuff. It's nearly 250 miles up, doing 1,700 miles, 17.5 miles, 100. I don't know. You know what I'm saying. It's freaking flying through the freaking sky. Just phenomenal. So it's going so fast that a collision with even a tiny shard of debris can do serious damage to the orbiting lab. So yeah.
Not for nothing. In 0 G, when you're in Near zero gravity. Even the
Shark
tiniest of
endangered.
sharks can send you straight off into the sun.
Yeah,
and there's no
yeah, it's pretty
stopping you.
bad.
Even the tiniest of sharks. So just
Yeah.
beware.
Beware. Yeah. So there you go. But they're all clear. Everything's clear. All clear. Oh, hell, wait. This is not rare or a strange occurrence. The station's made 3 maneuvers like this in 2020 alone. Huh, debris getting worse. Bridenstine said. So, yeah, you guys need to be worried about our spacey
They
friends
just
up there.
didn't feel like mentioning it last time they had to maneuver.
No, those other 2 times we didn't tell you about.
Nah, no big deal. I'll tell you later.
They had plenty going on to distract us then.
Surprised it wasn't 33 maneuvers this year.
It will be before the year's over, though. It is 2020. Don't count them out.
Beware. I see some space debris off the port side.
Oh,
They're playing
goodness.
Astro. It's just crazy. I can't believe that NASA's even a thing still.
Oh, goodness.
But, I mean, in all reality, I was a NASA fanboy like 6 years ago.
I was as well, friend. I was as well. Yes.
Like, I really can't knock the people, you know?
I woke up. Why can't they? I'm just...
Yeah, I know, isn't it? Sure, that easy. Yeah, you can't buy those eyes, Walt. Can't give them away. Either.
Indeed, friend.
Have them or you don't. It's one thing I've come to find. You gotta lay all the information out right in front of someone's face. You know, you show them the person saying it. And it just does not compute. Does not compute. It's like they never saw it. It's a weird phenomena, but it's real.
Far too real. Far too real.
And this is how those hypnotists and certain people, how they, you know, they control people. Because there are certain people that are just, it's weird. It really is. I don't even feel right trying to do it, though. Something just tells me that it's wrong to do that kind of stuff. So I don't even want to try it. But when I used to play cards, I used to do that without even really knowing it. When I had a really good hand, I could just say something and it would make somebody bet, you know, like make it a personal thing almost. When I would get a full house or something like that, or a real high-ended straight, I'd just say something to somebody, usually a guy, and I'd just poke them. And then all of a sudden we'd start betting and boom, 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 and it'd be all in. Yeah, I don't know. Some people just fall for all that kind of stuff. I don't know. I just feel dirty doing it, you know?
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Ugh, I'm just feeling dirty right now thinking about it. No, yeah. I like sleeping at night. I won't do stuff like that.
Same. It's easier not having to self-medicate. All the guilt and shame away from the miserable things that I do and the horrible manipulations that I try to control around me.
Nope, I'll just be a good person.
Yeah. I can't really control it anyway. It's just me being an asshole if I try. So, fuck it.
Oh.
And we're down to about
6:20.
5 minutes. Yeah. Zipped through that segment pretty quick, too. It's nutty.
Sorry, I'm being distracted, not talking. I was digging around for a picture of the old Star Trek crew leaning over for their maneuvers.
I don't know.
Just getting ready for the show description.
I don't know what the hell is going on. It was one of those, again, see, when I say that it rocked the foundations, this is what I mean. I don't know what the hell's up with my camera. When I turned it on, it was pointed like straight up in the sky. I thought my camera was busted. I had this big green line going across the top. I can still see a little bit of one, looks like. But it was like a big green bar that was right across the top. It was really weird. And it's still a little wonky, it looks like. But even the positioning.
Bar.
What was that, Zach?
So there was a big green bar before.
Well, I was seeing you on our call earlier. Now I don't see you. So I was looking to see, because I know yesterday or Wednesday, your bar was massive.
Third of the screen. Yeah, I still see a little tiny sliver at the top of the screen.
It's genetics. I didn't do anything. But the positioning, the angle, it was all been askew since the weekend. I don't know. I don't know, because I didn't use the computer on Tuesday because I didn't have internet. I knew it wasn't going to do me any good. I was calling in from my phone. So I don't know how long it's been weird, but I'm telling you, not getting that house rocked our foundations, as evidenced by the the camera angles that I'm left with. I don't know. It was really strange. But this is exactly why we didn't go look at the inside, because we were already way too emotionally attached to a piece of property that wasn't ours. Going to see the inside was just sort of a solidifying moment that we knew we probably should not do. So, cheers on us for having a little bit of self-awareness.
That's wisdom right there. Can't teach that stuff.
Well, apparently we still have a few
it was meant to be. If you don't get it, you weren't supposed to be there. That's just how it works.
Here's what I'm throwing out there to the universe. What they'll do is they'll realize, once it doesn't appraise for that, and that loan falls through, that all these other people were just a bunch of assholes bidding way outside of what they're looking for.
Capabilities.
Right.
Yep.
So they have to find the one bid that was made by somebody that looked like they really wanted it, but knew what it wasn't worth and was only willing to go so high before it got stupid. So what was the smart, where was the intelligent bid? The one that showed that they wanted it, but not enough to get upside down on a mortgage. Oh, look, here's this one. Why does this one stand out for some reason? There's something about this one. I don't know. Let's just go ahead and take this one. I think we'll go ahead and see if this one's still available, if they're still looking and still want to make this offer on the house, because everything else was falling through because it just wasn't worth what they were trying to get out of it. Where's the smart one? Here it is. Let's reach out to their agent.
There you go. You just put it out there. It's happening right now.
Yeah, well, they've got about a week to get it done. Ideally, we'll be out of here by Christmas.
There you go.
But if they act fast, we could be back in that dream home by Halloween. 30 days to close. I'm sure we could be in there passing out Halloween candy to nobody because it's nice and rural.
Yeah, we never got trick-or-treaters when I moved out to the country. Never did I see a trick-or-treater. My mom lived in a little town, like in town, out in the country, and she would get like 6 or 7. That was it. It's different out there. They all go to the local schools, and they have certain areas, or they'll do a parking lot, like the fire department parking lot. They'll have people come in their cars and open up their trunks and have candy there. So it's more of a, I don't know, they ruin everything. I used to love Halloween, just running around like crazy.
I don't know, man.
Middle of the road, wherever you wanted, it didn't matter. You owned those streets.
When you were little,
those few hours.
If you could hit 3 or 4 trunk or treats early enough, you could fill up 5 or 6 pillowcases easy before you even hit neighborhoods. I understand that it's a whole lot different than when we were kids because we didn't really have trunk or treats. But just to have all that candy concentrated in one little parking lot, and all you got to do is make a quick little lap, maybe change your mask, make another one, whatever, and go on, find your next trunk or treat. And they're everywhere. Oh, look at that.
Well, I know it's not break music. I was about to get a story. Okay. So apparently it's break time.
On the other side, I guess. Anyway, this is the Ironworx with Josh, Walt, and Zack, and we'll be back right after these brief messages.
Discover the extraordinary powers of intuitive healing with pain transmutation, a method of holistic healing for the human soul, body, mind, and emotions. If you are looking for answers and a deep understanding of how to help yourself and the people around you to live a happier, healthier life, this is the right place for you. Learn how to read your soul's history in the Akashic Records. Remove negative energy attachments from your astral body and start the process of inner, outer, and inner pain transmutation. Join Pain Transmutation Community to get started on the path of intuitive healing. Change your energetic state. Manifest new and exciting experiences. Re-energize your life and build inspiring connections with others in our community.
Hey folks, guess what the number one phrase that Life Change Tea receives by email? You ready? We love this tea. We love this tea. Time after time, week after week, we love this tea. Life Change Tea gives you more energy, a beautiful cleansing, and fulfills its slogan perfectly. The tea that makes you go. So if you want to be on your health game, log on to getthetea.com and order Life Change Super Strength Tea. Packages come in a 1-month supply, and when you brew this stuff, wait until you see the results. Aren't we all about the results? And with a lot of people's health struggling, we can use a little bit of help. Doctors will tell you disease starts in the gut. So log on to getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. Be our next email saying, I love this tea. I love this tea. Get the tea at getthetea.com. Helping America one tea bag at a time.
Hey everyone, it's Mark Sargent from Strange World, broadcasting live every Tuesday evening, 10 to 12 Eastern, 7 to 9 Pacific, right here on True Frequency Radio. Strange World covers a wide range of topics, from enclosed world theory to lunar waves to the end of the world in film. It's basically doomsday with a silver lining. With the audience as my co-host, we take an optimistic approach to all things conspiracy and promote confidence, hope, and humor whenever possible. If there's a topic you want us to cover or a guest you would like to see interviewed, please email me at msargent23@comcast.net. So please join me and tell your friends about Truth Frequency Radio, the leader in real radio programming, bringing you quality, cutting-edge broadcasts from around the world.
No hate, no hype, no fear. We are TFR, your protection from deception.
Welcome back to the Ironworx. I thought Josh had music coming in. Apparently he did not. I apologize because I'm all pumped up. You're listening to the Ironworx on Truth Frequency Radio. I believe you are. Anyway. Yes, you are. I was making sure I didn't disconnect myself because I was digging around, digging, because I am just one of those people who, once I get my mind on a research topic, I refuse to let go until I find...
I heard you found it.
A lot of stuff. Yeah, I was all pumped up cutting into the commercials. My apologies, Chris. I didn't realize it. I was pumped up. I'm going to send you guys links, but yeah, it's pretty nuts. Apparently, it's a thing in Scandinavia. Shout out to all of our Scandinavian brothers and sisters out there. So yeah, I'm going to send you guys a link on the description. There's a really small picture here on how to make it, but I'll send that to you as well. Nice. All right, so yeah, I'm pumped up that I found this. I really am, because I didn't think that it existed anymore. I thought that was a gone thing, that it was way too long ago, too many sales ago, and nobody would ever find it, but I did. So Jord Huga is here. Shout out to Trippy McGee. I know he's not listening, but that was my buddy I used to do that with back in the day.
Well, send him our love.
He used to come listen to us on Iron Realm Media channel over there on
I haven't seen Trippy
YouTube.
in a while.
Yeah, his life got complicated as well. Very similar to kind of what you're dealing with, actually. Our buddy Josh there is he's going through the same thing, friend. He's trying to figure out what to do with the house that belongs to Mom. So, and their situation in it. So that's been a lot of what he's been dealing with. But sending him lots of love. And J-Love as well, who could be listening. I know J-Love was giving us a listen or two. Shout out. He knows who I'm talking about. I found Jord Huga. Anyway, I'm going to send him a link.
Yeah, I've been real curious. How much would you even have to put in there? It seems like you need a pretty decent pile to...
Nah, you can make it as small as you want. You can make it as narrow as you can make this. Like, if you get rocks about the size of like gravel for the bottom of a fish tank, about that size gravel rocks, which, you know, we used to collect it anytime we found gravel that small to keep just for that reason. So, but yeah, if you use it right, you can make the size you need. Now, you can get ridiculous and put lots of it in there, but yeah, you can make it just like you need to. Okay, here, this has got a good description. Because I'm trying to find, it's a horrible website, though. You're going to get, if anybody has a seizure, I'm saying this is not my fault, it's not my website, not my design, but I'm just sharing it because it has a good description. But you will definitely get, somebody will have a seizure. You can't sue me. I said it's not my website.
Can't sue me because, well, can't get blood from a stone.
All right, I sent it to our chat. I'll include a link or at least a picture or something. I just want to find the original article that I read because it was really great. Well, I mean, you know, it probably wasn't that great, but it was really descriptive. How about that? I noticed we have a new sound effect thing with the sky and stuff. That's cool. I like that. It's very morning. Or is it sunset and you reversed it? I don't know.
I've heard more people have found blood in dinosaur bones now.
Of course they have.
Instead of Jurassic Park, they need to make Giant Park. Where they find DNA of a giant.
Right, that's the movie we need to write is, okay, we're going to make Jurassic Park. We got the dinosaur bones. Everybody ready? And then, boom, it goes into a giant and tears the place down. What? Copyright, Iron Realm Media, 2020, 9/25/2020.
And they use these frequencies to keep them in check, to keep them, you know, where they need to be. It's how they control the giants they use in Giant Park. And then pretty soon the frequencies get out of control and the entire Giant Park liquefies and sinks to the ocean.
Speaking of frequencies and liquefaction, I forgot. Martin, if you're listening, Daz, I know you're there. I saw a video of electronic weapons, directed energy weapons being used, tested, and after it was tested, the ground liquefied. I think we know kind of now what's going on with the mud flood, or what it could be anyway. If there's a big plasma event coming, or being caused possibly by people tampering with shit they shouldn't tamper with, one or the other. I mean, I watched the ground liquefy with this stuff. And I also saw fires, quote unquote, in Oregon that showed the ground doing the same thing that the ground was doing in this test. I'm going to send you a video. Well, actually, this is teaser time. You come hang out with us this afternoon on Have No Sphere, and we'll play it and get a copyright strike there for you, because it was pretty crazy. The guy whose channel it's on, though, is pretty cool, so he might not give us a strike. But where his source came from, probably will. I'm not sure. But yeah, pretty nuts. As soon as I saw this, was like last night. And I knew I couldn't share it here, but I was going to share it there. So let's do that. This afternoon on Have No Sphere, you will see what could be the cause of the mud floods.
Dawn says, are you aware that it says September 18th up there? Oh, yeah, that's right. I had a whole bunch of things I needed to change. It's a good thing I'm not running my crawler across there, because I need to change it like 3 different places in there, too. So, yeah, I didn't even change the date.
Nice.
At least it says Friday. At least it's not set
Friday
for a Tuesday. I can change it pretty quickly, too. There we go. I found it. What is the date today? 25th? Holy shit. You know, they claim, and I'm one for, because there's so much shit out there, I don't know. People say all kinds of shit that you can never really be too sure where they got their information from, and if their information was accurate. So you don't ever trust the things you hear. So I can't say for certain, because I don't have any first-hand remembrance, but on the 1st of October, they say, is when I was born. I don't know. That's the rumor. Rumor has it I was born on the 1st of October. And that's just right around the corner. 25.
And this will be a 42, won't it?
No, I don't think so.
That's awesome.
I was born in 77.
Oh, so you're past 42.
Yes.
Mine will be a 42 this time.
There we go. Just in time for the last 10 minutes of the show. The proper date.
Right? Absolutely. Man, we did not get Alan in here. I just realized it. And I wanted to.
We probably could have. We didn't do a damn thing.
Is she still with us? Alan, are you there? Alan, are you out there? Shout out to Connie calling me a baby. I wish I could say that I was, but I'm not quite that young. I had about 10 years to that, and that's me. Anyway, something I just saw, what was it? Oh, Diva in chat saying that earthquakes do the same thing, liquefaction. They do, but this is totally different. Like, this was so vastly different, and tying into everybody that's doing this research on the potential electronic phenomena, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. It's just pretty nuts. We'll see this afternoon. Come hang out with us, and we'll do it. I see that Liz is going to try to stay up for it. I appreciate that, Liz. I hope you make it.
We should be on time, provided I don't have jackhammers going off behind me, which is quite possible.
Well, if you can just get things started, I'll take over if I have to.
I mean, really, this is the only area down here that has not been touched. Just over here, there's no more carpet, no more padding. They've been jackhammering all day yesterday. They'll be jackhammering all day today, putting in a sump pump, digging, carrying stuff up and down. It's quite a process,
And I just saw it in chat. Happy Corporation Foundation Day to our good friend, Diva, who turned another year older yesterday. That was just being silly. Happy birthday.
Got about 15 minutes left, Alan. If you want to go ahead and click join call, feel free to.
That's true. He threatened to do it over there on TFR, and I laughed. It was great to pull a Howard Stern on us. You're welcome, sir.
And a big shout out to Douglas Falk.
What? Good morning, Douglas.
I was just
Afternoon,
thinking
evening,
about you,
sir.
Douglas. Just thinking about you and your folks. Hope everybody's doing well and feeling better.
Yeah.
Hey, guys.
Hey,
there
Alan.
he is. Good morning, D. Alan Holman.
Hey, Alan.
Hey,
Line producer extraordinaire.
Is there a loud noise behind me?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay, you can't hear that from there, so that's good. There's just this noise in my apartment. The vent is making a noise, and I got to talk.
Now that you say that, I hear a kind of a hoo noise behind you.
Yeah,
So,
when you talk, it triggers your microphone, and then you can hear it a little bit behind you when you talk now that you say it. But if you're not talking, we don't hear it.
And even when you do talk, it doesn't start until you've been talking for a few seconds. So
yeah, it's not noticeable. It's negligible.
So how was your day, sir? How was the rest of your week after our momentous show on Tuesday?
Well, I just can't stop thinking about the fact that press release NASA released about the space garbage was released shortly after we were criticizing them about that on air.
There you go. I didn't think about that aspect of it, but yeah, this is true.
Yeah, I checked the time on when NASA released that, and it was shortly after our broadcast. So they might have someone listening to us.
That would be incredibly nuts. Incredibly nuts.
Well, I don't know. They called you guys.
That's right. They did call that. Ago. They did call us a few years ago. Enough to trigger you.
Yeah, that made me mad.
We still need to find that. I still need to find that call.
The sound behind me stopped, but for how long?
You could make it a game.
So I left a couple of lettuce suggestions in the chat room. Did you notice them?
I did, and I still had Skype up with our other.
Basically, there's two articles. One of them is Earth life may have traveled to Venus among sky-skimming asteroid. And the other article is Earth's new mini-moon may be rocket humans launched in 1960s.
That makes me chuckle. I got to click on that one.
Feel free to read it. I put it there as a suggestion.
I'm hoping it's not terribly long. It doesn't look like it's.
Yeah, we got a minute, and you got to get there first. I'm frozen up again. I don't know what I did. Oh, I see.
Well, this is out of Live Science, so take that for what it's worth. But it says Earth's new mini-moon might be a rocket humans launched into space in the 60s. Observers think it may have been launched into space in the 1960s. Earth is getting a small new moon, but it might have been made by people. Astronomers at the Catalina Sky Survey in Arizona first detected the object back in February as a flash of light darting across space. Pictures, video. Right at this moment, it's not in orbit around the Earth, but it's nearby. And it's going to enter Earth's orbit for a while in 2020 before heading out to circle the sun again. Initial assumption was that the mysterious blip was an asteroid. The object, termed 2020 SO2 by the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, appears to have been temporarily captured by Earth's gravity. Earth has captured mini-moons like this before, and scientists have spotted them a couple of times in recent years. It's a natural part of our planet's movement through space. You see, it's just the nature of it when you're moving through space. But some observers say this mini-moon might not be as natural after all. People built it, they think, back in the 1960s. There's been some disagreement on this point, which played out on an astronomy message board known as the Minor Planet Mailing List, the MPML. An online community frequented by professionals and hobbyists. The issue is that 2020 SO2 is in orbit around the sun, and that closely matches Earth's objects like that sometimes fall into Earth's gravity and end up orbiting for a little while. There are plenty of natural asteroids that behave this way, And there are even rocket parts that humans have launched into space that have similar orbits. By analyzing 2020 SO2's current movement and extrapolating them backward in time by using computer simulations, observers worked out that this object would have last orbited Earth in 1966 or 1967, and that could mean that in 1966 or 1967 is when it was launched into orbit in the first place, or when 2020 SO2 naturally approached Earth. But distinguishing the two possibilities is tricky. Initially, Sam Dean, an amateur astronomer in California, posted that no 1966 or 1967 launches matched 2020 SO2's behavior, meaning that the curious object was likely natural. Dean has been cited by NASA in the past. Then, Paul Chodas, director of NASA's Center for Near-Earth Object Studies, told CNN that it was likely a rocket from Surveyor 2, an uncrewed NASA moon mission that launched on September 20th, 1966. The object's orbit is so similar to Earth's, he said, that it probably came from Earth. Others on the ML agree. Another amateur astronomer, Tony Dunn, created a simulation of the object's path, which will take it very close to Earth in December, and again in February. It's possible that 2020 SO2 comes closer. More detailed observations will settle the matter, but in the meantime, we're left wondering whether Earth's incoming mini-moon is a long-lost thing from this planet or a space rock dropping in for a short visit. Huh. Well, there you go.
You know, one thing that makes me wonder how far in advance the space storylines are planned is the fact that in the mid-1990s, there was a cartoon character named Sailor Mini Moon.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet they have like a long term, and then they have their revise that they have to do for when we bust them out and call out things. Like you just said, you guys were talking about that Tuesday, and then a couple hours later, you know, a story comes out about it. I'm sure there's a lot of things like that that they have to jump on right away and try to get ahead of. But I think you're right. There is definitely a long term. We're going to make this up at this time. We're going to make this up at this time. But they actually do it. You know, it's not like their official long-term plan where they keep saying we're going to the moon in 4 years or 8 years or whatever. And then they just keep pushing that stuff back. This stuff they actually apply.
At some point, the long-term plan includes aliens.
Oh, yeah, an alien invasion, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Once they get all their weapons finely tuned and everything, they can, you know, have everybody they want to get rid of pinpointed. Use these weapons and blame it on the aliens.
Yep.
I saw a bunch of videos pass by my YouTube feed. I didn't watch them because I really don't care anymore, but something about a TikTok video or a Tic-Tac UFO or something. That's some big to-do that I saw at least 4 or 5 videos suddenly come by like it's a new thing. I have no clue, no point of reference. Anybody? Tic-Tac UFO? Is that something?
I heard a bit about it, but like you, I didn't click on it.
Right. See, I don't know enough to yeah.
So just interesting. I apropos of nothing. Remember, not that long ago, Allison Mack, the gal that played in Smallville, played Chloe, and she had gotten busted for running like this weird sex slave ring where they were branding women with irons and all sorts of weird stuff.
She didn't run it. She had a role in recruiting people, I think.
She had a pretty large role because the guy that did run it, the brands that were put on these women were his initials and Allison Mack's initials, for what it's worth. That was the brand, was the two of their initials. Apparently she's under house arrest now and is traipsing off to college. But nobody wants to be in class with her. So she's sort of having to bail on some of these classes because all the kids are complaining.
You know, when people on TV shows get busted for stuff, I still like to separate their character from who they actually are, and I still like to enjoy the shows for what they are.
That was the first show my wife and I binge watched together, was Smallville. All the episodes. She had them on the DVD.
Cool.
But she
I
was,
never watched that one.
it wasn't bad. It wasn't. It was better than some of the other stuff that came out after. Even.
I think that was one of my first forays during that period away from cable and TV, as I was trying to break the addiction of many years. I remember that period of everybody talking about how great it was. I even remember people talking about it being great to go back and watch it when I kind of got back into the addiction there in that little period after that, and didn't just too much stuff to catch up on, and got addicted to other shows and other programming before I kicked it again. So it was a hard little habit to break. But yeah, I missed it.
The reason why I really like TV shows. One reason is because on my website, I've got a bunch of TV scripts that I wrote, and I love watching shows just to continue to reinforce the idea in my head that my scripts are smarter than a lot of the shows that are on.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm about it. Oh, don't get me wrong. I still watch things. I'm very appreciative of very well-made creative processes, even though they may be corporate creative processes. I'm still a big fan. Love the phenomena of movies and shows and making and scripts and all that, man. Yeah, but I was bad, dude. I was like bad. I had all the little bells and whistles, black boxes, I had like a recorder that would change the channel on your box before you could do that. Even I was really bad. I had some issues with if you could see the vast collection of VHS tapes that I got rid of over the years of stuff that I recorded, just inane
Oh my
shite.
God, don't tell me about that. We had a huge shelf filled with VHS tapes. I mean, it had so many shelves on it, like it was a whole wall that was just filled with VHS tapes. Do you watch that show Star Trek Lower Decks?
I have not yet. I know it's out there. I even think I had the first one or something, access to watch it, and I haven't yet.
I want to tell you one thing about the most recent episode. The character Q was on the most recent episode.
That's awesome.
Yes, it is awesome. Even though the new Star Trek shows are coming out, like they're a huge thing right now, because I believe it's because of the fact that we're pushing the other side with flat Earth information. We're provoking them to make the new shows. That's what I think.
Yeah, there's a new one, all kinds of new space shows out over the last 6
Yeah,
months, 12
I was
months.
thinking that too when I saw that new one pop across one of my stream services. I don't even know, and I don't know the show. I just saw some chick in a helmet and that it was going to be the new thing, and I'm like, great.
But even
Really
though
pissing
I'm a flat earther, I love space shows. I will never not love space shows.
Again, it has to be
I love the
something real.
fantasy ones.
Right,
I can't
don't
stand
want
the
to watch a
ones where
drama
it's like
in space.
Yeah, NASA drama in space.
Right. I want, if I'm going to watch television, it needs to have something that's going to either entertain me, make me laugh, make me think. It can't just be a dull hum in the background. And that tends to be a lot of corporate driven shit. It's just a dull roar in the background while your brain is melting away.
5 were both quite entertaining.
Which ones?
Space Force and Avenue 5. I thought they were both.
Space Force was pretty entertaining. I watched that one.
Yeah.
Well, we are about done, gentlemen.
We are.
Gabriel Jones
thank you
looking
for
out.
popping
Good
in
looking
and
out.
helping us out, Alan, again. And thank you for helping me out Tuesday, sir.
I didn't really have much to say this time around.
Well, we fricked around and didn't get you in till late, so sorry, I forgot. I meant to get you in at least at the top of the second hour, and just we got to yapping and
Totally fine. I would have been. I had no ambitions for or against being on
Well,
this
thank you,
episode.
good friend, for the help.
Let me call.
Hopefully you'll come hang out with us here in about 12 hours or 11 or whatever it is this afternoon on Have No Sphere. We probably are going to have some open lines. Hopefully Adam will pop in. We're going to be looking at that weird video of the Earth liquefaction. Love you guys. Thank y'all so much.
Love y'all.
Love you guys. Have a great rest of your day. Have a great rest of your weekend if we don't see you this afternoon. Right back here on the Iron Media YouTube channel. Otherwise, be good, be well. We love you. Stay human. Love thy neighbor.